Welcome to this episode. Today we want to show you how to bring more order and clarity to your feeds. Let's look at an example as the community email just arrived. Unfortunately, it's not very clear at the moment when it comes to finding the relevant information. At least, I would find it difficult to get an overview. That's why we'd like to introduce you to My Community, a small community project to help you gain some clarity on your topics. Let's switch to the Software Heroes page. First, we need a new account, which we can create quickly and easily. We need a username and a password to create the account. If you would like to receive email notifications later, you should also enter email address. Finally, accept the terms and conditions, and your account will be created. You can then log into the website with your new user data. As the next step, we need to install the mini app. To do this, go to the App Store via the menu. There you will find various applications that you can use for free. Let's go to My Community. Clicking Install will activate the app for our user. After successful installation, we can launch the app directly from here. Alternatively, we can access the app dashboard via the drop-down menu and activate favorites there. To do this, we can activate the various items in the menus and save the settings. Finally, we go to the Apps menu and activate the star to set the app as a favorite. When we go to the main page, the app will now be available for quick access and we can launch it from there. The app recommends creating a new variant as a first step and then adjusting the settings. Therefore, we first navigate via the menu, go to the variants and create a new one using plus. We want to create a variant for ABAP development. Once a variant is created, we can customize it. You can make further settings using Edit. For example, we can change the number of entries that are loaded with a variant. Using boards and products, we can limit the relevant information to what we are actually interested in. In boards, you will find topics like ABAP and ABAP Cloud. However, most developers actually want to filter by product since the board itself is irrelevant to them. To do this, we adjust the products and select the first topics related to ABAP that we want to see in our feed. With that, our variant is defined and we can proceed to the settings. Using the settings, we select, for example, which variant should be used at startup. Our variant is already pre-selected here. Then we have additional settings, such as whether we want to see customer tags. In the SAP community, each author can define further tags which we are currently not considering in the search. Next, you can activate additional community feeds if you are interested in the content. The various content is also sorted by language if you are not interested or do not understand the language. If an email address is stored in your account, you can also activate notifications and add other community blogs in addition to the SAP community. With the frequency setting, you determine how often we should notify you about new content. After we have configured the basic settings, let's take a look at how to use the platform. When you start the app, you land on My Feed. Here, your default feed is loaded, along with the last X blog posts from the SAP community that match your filter. Various functions are available via the buttons at the back. The link takes you directly to the article on the external platform if you want to read it immediately. The second button allows you to save an article to your reading list to read it later. The article will then disappear from this view. Last button lets you mark the article as read, removing it from the list so you can focus on other content. In the menu, you will find a button to load different versions, for example, for Fiori or Analytics. In the middle tab, you will find all the community blogs sorted by publication date. Here you can browse through the various external blogs and have the same options available as in the SAP community blogs. The last tab contains the reading list, or rather, it displays the different directories. From there, you can jump to the list and find all the selected entires. Here, you can read entires, move them to another folder, or remove them from your reading list. You can find your read entires via the menu if you accidentally selected an entry you still wanted to read. You can also remove the article here using the button, and you will find it again in your feed. Using the folder menu item, you can select a new directory for bookmarks. To do this, create a new entry using the plus button and give it a name. In this case, we will create directories for ABAP Cloud and BTP. No further settings are necessary here. If we navigate back to our reading list, we will see the other folders that are still empty. Now let's navigate to the general list. There we can move the entries to other folders using the button to improve the overview and readability. This way, you can create a list of interesting topics in addition to your reading list, which you might need again later. Would you prefer not to receive emails, but rather consume your information via the feed reader? Then your personal feed is also available in the settings. To do this, go to the settings and activate the feed. This will provide an endpoint that you can then integrate into your feed reader. You can copy the URL using the button or jump directly to the feed via the link. Here you will find all articles from the SAP community and the community blogs. Now, when you receive a notification from the My Community app, you will find the topics relevant to you and everything new from the community area in one overview, and you can decide for yourself which article you want to read. Have fun with the app and the new knowledge. Thank you for watching and for your interest. See you next time.